we are currently waning crescent. He goes, Laughing Jeff here is here to entertain. And most people are like, oh, all right.
Cool, sir.
But he does amazingly get a lot of attention. Like that's like while being kind of silly and incredibly flamboyant, he does manage to command the entire room. And he says, a moment to warm up and then wet my whistle and we shall have the show begin. I must ask, what is a cleric's favorite hot drink, especially on a night like this?
Any drink would do, I guess.
And the crowd's kind of silent on it, and any drink I would do, guess. And he kind of looks at you, and he recognizes you, and he smiles, and he goes, "Close. It actually happens to be divinity." And like he gets like 4 chuckles in the room, and he's like, "Close enough."
Bambi is now laying on my notebook, so just don't make anything important happen, because I can't take note of it.
Fireball appears.
But yeah, he takes a moment and he does get a beer, and he does walk over to the hearth. Can I get perception checks from everybody?
Now I
Natural
roll
20.
in that one. Okay,
Nice.
you saw it.
16.
22.
Nat 1, 16, 22, nat 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What a set of rolls. Like, well, and like, weh. So, as he's like getting ready, you see him, he's like tuning. He's tuning like a lyre-esque type thing. And he's tuning it and tuning it and tuning it, and it's like ding 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 ding. No, I was trying to make it a gangster joke, but no. He like tunes it, and everyone but Alfonz notices. He looks over at the fire, and as he's tuning, he looks over the fire, and you see him snap, and the fire gets a little larger and a little warmer. It looks like the fire was starting to die down, and then it just kind of. It just comes a little more lively. This is the word that we would like to use there. He starts to go into a monologue for a moment. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, of all the things I've experienced in my life, and many of the hospitalities I have had the pleasure," he kind of like winks at a lady, to experience. This song goes out to one in particular. And he starts to strum, and it's got this very upbeat jaunt to it. He says, "Through all my years of travel, and everywhere that I've been, through each small town and hovel, and every city's inn, there's one thing I've noticed, as much as I can recall. There's one woman's hospitality who's rumored over all. What I'm saying is, the wife of the baker is quite the lovemaker, for her bed is warm from the oven, but rarely her husband, as he stokes it before dawn, you see. And while the wife of a farmer can be quite the charmer, it's the wife of the baker for me." And some people were kind of having like a small conversation, like look over, like, what? And he goes into a second verse of, "Now don't follow ample, even though she may be ample. Her rolls may be perky and her wit be quite quirky. There's plenty of fish in the sea. For if the baker found out of our lovin', or a bun in the oven, there'd be nothing but ash of me. And he goes into that chorus again. The wife of the baker is quite the love maker. And it seems like a lot of people in the tavern actually know the song and pick it up with him. And he leads this rowdy chorus in something in this song and continues on. And at the end of it, and there's a pretty big round of applause. And he hops up on the hearth, and he says, and he holds up his like mug, and he goes, "A skeleton walks into a bar and orders a beer and a mop." And there's just this immense like guttural chuckle that like kind of rumbles through the room. And he says, "Why do dwarven bards sound better by candlelight?" And the like couple dwarves with the dragonborn kind of look over like, mm-hmm. And he goes, "Because you could shove the wax in your ears." And the dragonborn just starts cracking up. And you've not recently heard just the booming laughter that is a dragonborn. But it is this of laughter. And it's a little contagious. And you all find yourselves chuckling a little bit at the jokes, despite them not being the best jokes ever. He's like, "Oh, it's pretty good." He has a few more just kind of like one-liners. Then he goes into a story of how his father used to farm dirt, and it wasn't until like later in life that he found out he was an ant or something. Like it's a really like poorly set up joke about his father ending up being an insect. And he tells a joke about a moth to a flame and all kinds of stuff. It's he's very funny, but it's very dry, and sometimes it's this mix of like incredibly erudite humor, incredibly like fart joke, and like super dry. Like it's always like one of the three, but it seems to tickle somebody in the crowd differently every time, and at least one person each time is just absolutely taken aback by the jokes and just laughs very hard. He ends up there are a few rounds of beer bought for him, and he goes into another song about a marvelous elven entrepreneur. It's like Yesri Fezos. And you're very entertained.
No. I want to hear it.
Mhm.
It's it's Yesri Fezos. Yesri Fezos. High elf entrepreneur, born in 464. Do you want me? I can't tell by the faces.
I'm loving it.
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
My favorite one yet.
Mhm.
He's come on, Yesri, you can do it. Ilikhal ain't got nothing to it. Find a wife. Spill some blood. The Western Kingdoms ain't had enough. Yesri Fezos. Yesri Fezos. Thank you. I needed it. Thank you. Everyone does seem to, and you all
You did it.
potentially have heard. You did it. You are aware of this Phazos individual is one of the largest traders out of the capital city of Elven City of Ilikhal. He's a high elf.
Everyone fucking hates him.
Yep.
He's kind of an asshole. He also keeps his head shaved, which is very unusual for an elf. So his like features are super angular, but his head kind of looks like an egg.
I don't think this will land on anyone, but Solus from Dragon Age Inquisition.
I gotcha. I watched
you.
enough of it.
But yeah,
He also like went on like some
Bezos.
crazy like hot air balloon expedition. He went way too high,
Probably.
spent way too much money,
yeah.
and he didn't
Yeah.
have to pay taxes. And the
His
people
workers are
pissed.
there. His workers probably hate him the most.
Mhm.
Some of them probably died.
He goes on with that. He's got a few other songs. He does have a few routines that's like song and comedy put together that are very good. But yeah, Jafir, he's really good. He does get quite a few tips. Most of which like he pockets a lot of them. And then he buys dinner and a drink at the end of his performance, and you notice that he overpays by a lot. He actually doesn't keep a ton of the tips. He kind of passes them on to the inn itself. You notice that with your very, very high perception rolls.
Alfonz does not.
Nope.
Alfonz, you don't. Alfonz, he gives money and gets food. You're still wondering
Transaction.
you're wondering if this Yesri Phazos guy can get you home. Maybe that's what you need to talk to.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Okay. After he finishes his set and his jokes, he gets food and he comes. He actually sits down. He actually produces a chair out of somewhere that you don't notice. It is a chair. It's not like he magically conjures a chair,
Okay.
but he does. He does like very quick, like sleight of hand almost. Like suddenly he has a chair and potentially someone else in the bar doesn't. And he sits down and he goes, "Friends, it is so good to see you all. I do believe it's been quite a while. How was your trip to Westfork? You were coming from Melt. Oh, I did visit after our conversation last. Took a wonderful bath.
And how was your visit to Melt? How was Molly? How was the city?
Well, it seems it's quaint as always, but the Steam and Snowflake definitely knows how to pamper one, if you know what I mean." And he smiles just this beaming smile.
I hand him over a silver piece and thank him for the entertainment.
It's my pleasure. As long as the jokes land, I am happy. That is what I feel my one true calling in life is the humor.
What's life without a little humor?
It's what I like to think.
Which way did you come into town? Were you coming from Summers Hearth?
Oh yes, I left there a few days ago. It's quite the show there currently. I managed to get out of town just fine.
Interesting. We're headed into Summers Hearth tomorrow.
Oh well, I wouldn't recommend that at all. It's a terror. There are elementals flying all about.
That's what we keep hearing, unfortunately.
Sounds like fun.
That's
Fun.
That's what we do for a living now. we're the guys.
We're big deals.
I see you've grown quite a bit since the last time we spoke, so perhaps you are. And I haven't met you, sir. He goes, Jafir. They call me Laughing Jafir. He reaches out to shake your hand.
Reaches out.
Paul.
I'm Zhixil.
Zhixil.
Have I seen you at the Laughing Cat before?
I tend to stay away from Storm's Fall, but I do travel all over. And sometimes I have passed through. Potentially, you've seen me through once, but it's not my kind of city. Too busy, too serious.
Well, a pleasure to meet you. And he hands him a silver piece as well.
You see him, he takes it, and it like quickly like disappears into a sleeve or something. He takes it and it's gone in the moment. Might I ask why so serious are we headed to Summers Hearth? good friends. So you have a death wish. I'm sure we
King's
could
business.
go out back and duel right now. I kid. Don't do that. That's not fun.
I'm sure one or two of us would be eager to take you up on that offer. We are on King's business, unfortunately.
Oh, King's business. Well, that's another reason why I don't visit the city. That man is too dour and does not have a laughter in his heart. At least since the queen has passed.
Can't.
Well, how
You
long
can-
were
you
you in
could
the
roll
city of
charisma.
Summers Hearth?
In Summers Hearth, probably no more than 5-6 days. I do believe after I met your friends a few weeks ago, I went to the very crossroads, and they were all over. A bit of a fit was going on in the town. It seemed that one of the thieves guilds was getting a little out of control, and there was some trouble. Someone trying, very rude of them.
Thieves,
what-
you say?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, of course. There something uneventful.
But we
But
do
they,
would like to
Who?
know.
oh well, I'm afraid I don't remember what their name was, but they were causing a huge ruckus. Um, the Stadier's men were having a lot of trouble. I believe there were a couple Kingsguard that were involved in something or other. But
Was it something like stingers or?
yeah, something like that. Sounded vaguely bee related.
Well, they were a couple of bees.
But I spent no more than a couple days there. There was a wonderful tavern though, very very upbeat. Lots of people willing to indulge in comedy. Before I headed on to Melt, because you wonderful people reminded me of how quaint it was there. I did a few performances there. Made my way to Summers Hearth, and I've come south from here. And I maybe I will pass through the capital this time, but depends how my mood takes me.
We would advise caution. There was quite a lot of action along the southern road on our way through.
Oh, a lot.
No,
How so?
no less safe than it is up here, I'm sure, but
Well, it's traveling alone has its benefits and its costs, as they say. But I do not wish to disturb you much further. I will enjoy my meal, and perhaps the fan club will grow a little. Please enjoy yourselves, and do be safe wherever you are going.
You too.
you as well.
He says, "Oh, and a gift for my friends." And he sets down a single copper piece, and he slides it to you. He says, "If you should ever meet anyone, know that you are a friend of Laughing Jeff here." And it's a copper piece, but it's not a prince. It's not a Storm's Fall copper piece. It's a marking that none of you actually recognize. And he kind of scarfs down the rest of his meal, and he pounds his ale and gets up and starts to talk amongst other people.
I say that when I got my meal, I slide it over to Ilikhal as well, but I keep the alcoholic drink.
Okay.
Thank you. Digging
You
into
are
it.
a growing person.
Sounds like we have a tough road tomorrow.
I say we rest up.
Yes.
But I worry whether entering the city will pose any challenges, or whether we need to consider a sneaky way into the town, or just face it head on. I mean, elementals are elementals, of course, but
I think
some caution would be.
if we use caution, but I think what we should do is head into the Kingsguard outpost and see what the situation is.
Yeah, probably a good call. it would probably be best if we actually either we go in small and quiet, or we perhaps ask to go with a party of guard. I don't really know.
It doesn't
sounds-
sound like there will be another party
There's
for
only
quite some time.
One guy here.
Yeah. That's true. Well, either way, some rest will do us well, of course.
Up to bed.
I was curious, since we're now about a day away from the city, would my Ravenhead have returned? Would if we have crossed that period of time where it would have returned in my possession?
Yes,
Okay.
it does. Or it will probably tomorrow morning.
Okay.
We'll say to fit in well. Like it doesn't randomly fly into the inn as you enjoy
Yeah.
dinner. Did you guys get a room, or you?
If we
I
can.
don't know if you even asked.
What do we think? I guess we can just sleep in the bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty busy. You got a feeling that it's not going to be. They probably don't have a room to fit all four of you.
Yeah, the
Easily, at
hut is
least.
fine.
Okay. At the end of the day, you head out of the inn. You find like a nice place where you can put your little hut down. You boom, bubble up. You all kind of settle. You do hear like a tunk 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 on the edge of the bubble, and it is the raven. There it is. Found it.
Oh. Okay.
It has to have permission to get in though.
I'll give it permission.
Step.
It
Yeah.
goes dun, dun. It goes dun, 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 and it just kind of falls through and it like stumbles, and it like trots up to you, Zhixil, and goes, "What?" Yeah, I mean everything's almost going okay here. We're a little busy, and honestly, things are kind of going to shit. But I'm doing everything we can. Help would be cool, but you don't have to. Maybe I have it under control. How many more words can I say?
I think
And
it's
then
20, right?
It looks at you, and then it like goes, and then it like shakes its feathers, and it solidifies and shrinks into a silver figurine.
Picks it up.
But it's perfectly mimicking Corin's voice, which is really, it's unsettling in a way because it perfectly does it, but that's how the magic works. And it is back to your figurine.
I'm going to say Corin does not have it under control.
Yes, I think our help would be good.
Good for him for doing his best.
Oh, of course. I'd only expect the best.
Yeah, so you guys rest 8 hours later. As you are sitting in the all the ums, as you all fall asleep, the sound of heavier rain starts to fall in the bubble. It's a very relaxing, like tippy tappies, and it goes to a heavier tippy tappies, and it maintains all night, and it's actually incredibly comforting, and it's good for sleep, but it means it is going to be raining the rest of your trip potentially. You take your long rest. You achieve a long rest. Next morning, the sun rises, but it stays dark due to the overcast clouds. It becomes daylight, but it is really hard to wake up. In fact, I would say that Pilot probably wakes all of you up as Pilot doesn't sleep. Pilot's like, okay, rest time over, guys.
Get out of it.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Pilot just turns into an alarm clock. Just opens their mouth and just.
There's a timer. There's an internal timer, and every time it hits like 6 a.m, I just scream.
God. Imagine that in your like just life. 6 a.m.
That's just what it's like to live with a cat.
Yeah, that's true.
So you pack up your things and you're ready to head on your way. It's going to take probably 6 hours to get to the city. If you ride at a constant pace, you could get there. You could ride like leisurely and get there in 8, or you could ride hard and get there in 4. But it would be a very uncomfortable ride.
Yeah, we'll
But that'll
go.
put you there mid-afternoon. Okay, I need a survival and a perception check for this last day of travel, as far as you're aware.
12 on perception.
21 for survival.
Okay. There isn't, Alfonz, you know, like, as you head this way, it looks like you're heading right at the center of a storm, and it's darker and like just gross looking that way. And as you head north, it gets darker and the rain starts falling heavier. Even with Zhixil using his power of magical umbrella, the rain is coming down hard. Like the road is wet and gross, and it is tough travel. It's not enjoyable, even with maintaining some level of dryness. It's gross. Pilot does manage to steer you around the worst of the issue with like roadways, trees down. Well, there are small creeks that are becoming, or large creeks that are becoming small rivers, and just little runoffs of water that are actually becoming small creeks with how much rain and everything that is happening.
I'm
You make it
trying to
past.
think.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry, because like I'm just thinking out loud because I technically have the ability, I guess, of wind speaker where I can speak primordial, which
Mhm.
technically means I can speak to the elementals. But I mean, of course, if they're hostile, I might not be able to, but might be something to consider if we come across one.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Martin.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. As you all approach midday, you manage to eat some food, clean up everything you can, get your horses as geared to continue going as you can. And you head towards the north, finishing the last bit of this journey. You fully engulf yourselves in the storm. And around 4 in the afternoon, you see far in the distance what might be where the city of Summers Hearth is. And you're seeing it through a lot of rain and fog, and man, it's this, from how far away you can see, is it's a circular city surrounded by a wooden fence with that is essentially enormous tree trunks that are just logs stacked up. They have the kind of like pointed top slightly. It has the like spiked fortifications of logs stuck into the ground facing outward, and is almost wilderness fort like in a way.
Not what I was
The
expecting.
surrounding area, it's huge, wilderness fort like it is, like it was built up and then built up and built up and built up, like it was meant to be like a smaller city and then just became a big city. And you can see many different rooftops and things on the inside, and all around as you approach is fairly clear plains. um you can see where there would probably normally be like sheep herders and cattle and other animal husbandry activities that would take place, as well as fields of what would potentially be growing wheat or soybeans or potatoes, these large fields, and currently all untended, as this weather is just getting worse and worse as you approach the city. You hear thunder and you hear thunder and see lightning. And as you look to the northeast, there is a bit of a forest in that direction as well, which appears to be mostly evergreens, unlike the Kingswood, which is directly to your east, which is a mixture of deciduous and evergreen trees.
Directly to the west, isn't it?
West, sorry, north. I'm thinking northwest also. My apologies. Northwest, there is mostly evergreens, and that leads, all that evergreen forest appears to just go for as far as you can tell. And that, actually, knowing what you know about the area, it goes all the way past Timberline, all the way up to Frostwatch, where the evergreen forest gives way to tundra, and then eventually to the great whites, the snow, and the the wastes and the snows and the great white north beyond that. As you start to approach the city, even sitting upon your horses, you can feel a slight tremor in the ground. And it's not nearby, but it's kind of ever present. It's this low it's almost like you're constantly feeling the bass drum of an orchestra. You can kind of feel it in your hips and your butts sitting on your horses. And your horses, as they're walking, they're pawing at the ground, hoofing at the ground awkwardly. In this, it's not a normal sensation. It's not like an earthquake, but it's these small but constant tremors. And as you approach the city of Summers Hearth to the northwest, through all of this rain and lightning and thunder, you see something that very few of you have ever seen in your entire lives. That if any of you have ever seen. Coming from the northwest, this massive storm cloud is moving in. And as you were watching, as it is mid-afternoon, still daylight, lit enough, you see the storm cloud starting to turn en masse. And beneath that storm cloud descends a funnel. And that funnel descends all the way to the ground and begins tearing up trees and lifting them into the air. And this is a mile away. And you see it lifting. You see it appears to be, it looks like there are birds and bits flying around this enormous funnel cloud. But as you look, you notice that it is bark and rock and mass bits of forest getting thrown into the air. And as it approaches the city, it tears and rends the forest apart. And just before it reaches the city, it starts to rise up off the ground. And bits and pieces of the city wall come with it as parts of thatched roofs start to get taken up as well. This funnel cloud just rises up into the clouds above. And the storm settles into just, again, constant rain and thunder and lightning.
Quite chaotic.
Yeah.
Fun.
Run. Just get into the city as fast as possible.
That looks fun.
Oh, fun.
Oh, fun. I
Yeah.
think said run. But you're probably half a mile out of the city now. You start to approach the city. And
Do we see any like people movement?
You can't see because one wall, and it is on the same kind of level. From what you can tell, there's nobody on the walls. There's nobody like guarding the gates or anything like that. And there's nobody appearing to rush towards or from the city either. As you approach the city you are suddenly buffed by like some incredible straight line winds to the extent that your horses sidestep sideways. The sound of wind just echoes in your ear. It's this, to the extent trying to talk to one another is incredibly difficult.
Again, with my storm guide ability, I could try to direct it away from us to kind of
It's
get
still
to the city as best as we can.
Amazingly, in this moment, that doesn't work.
Okay, it's too powerful.
Yeah,
it's not a
because-
regular wind that's just
Right.
coming. It's like
It is
a force of the
not
wind.
Elemental, maybe?
entirely natural.
Right.
Because in this moment, as you approach,
Roll initiative.
appearing in front of you is an air elemental, and they need you to all roll initiative.
Fuck.
With K at disadvantage for being a jerk.
Bambi.
I
I
kid.
need to pick up dice.
That's only an 8 from me.
You
know-
18 for me.
I've been kicking myself for a long time
Same.
because I think I think when we were at the Cauldron of Everything, you specifically mentioned an item that would help with elemental. I can't remember what it was, but it was something. And we should have bought it. I remember
Alright,
thinking to myself, that's oddly specific.
I got a nat 20.
No, just for my reference, because like I would like to try to ask it something. Because I know
Yes.
I know elementals aren't inherently evil, like, right? They're not supposed to be.
No, they aren't natural. So they're actually, based on your understanding, they're neutral in terms of like good and evil.
Okay. Because I would like to, because since I can speak to it, I'd very much like to ask like what its business is here and why is it doing what it's doing, and if some force is causing it to behave in such a way, then at least I tried. But I would like to know what is going on.
Yeah, maybe name drop. What is it? It's Mav? Like the daughter? It was Mavve. I think. What was her name?
The daughter was Mauve.
Mav?
Move, I think.
It's Mauve. Mauve.
Damn it.
Oh, that is a U. Okay.
No.
That is a U. My U's and V's look exactly the same. Because I write like a monkey.
Why don't we just yeet ourselves across?
We can try.
Avoid the
Use the wind.
battle and just yeet.
Right. I think that'll do for a battle map.
Looks pretty good.
Mhm.
Gives you kind of an idea. A elemental is a large creature. So it technically takes up about that much space. Takes up 4 squares. I have you as Alfonz, Zhixil, Ilikhal, Pilot. I don't know if that's the order you guys want to be in, but you can change that
Probably
now.
not.
I want to be
Yeah.
behind.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'd probably be closer to the front.
Yeah, Pilot and I are probably usually going to be in the front when we're walking towards danger.
You didn't hear this, Theo, because you stepped out, but
Mm.
I'd like to ask it something.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You can try, yeah.
Yeah,
But
you can go ahead.
like,
You have
obviously,
to
like,
roll initiative right now,
yeah.
but
So,
Talking is free. Yes.
let me get some initiatives.
8.
Nat 20 plus 2.
Ilikhal,
16.
22, 16, 18?
Yep.
So 18 and 8 for Alfonz?
Yep.
All right, let's do. Leading off the combat is the air element.
Oh my, what the fuck?
Oh
Oh.
gosh.
I'm guessing they rolled a nat 20?
They did.
Okay, just making sure.
I want to
Oh.
ask it. I don't want it. Wait.
Talking is free.
Okay. At the beginning of the air elemental's turn, it is going to move forward. And
I'm nervous.
Same.
Me too.
Okay.
I feel like I
It's
should
going
have
to
done
move
mage armor before we walked in here.
to cover Pilot's space. It chose on the 50-50 shot.
It's always Pilot that gets engulfed.
That was I gave high low and it went for low. Pilot, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Had to be Pilot.
Of
That's
course,
a
to make
flat
strength
10.
saving throw. It's not enough. Your horse does not succeed either.
Horsies. No.
Could I say in Primordial, just leave the horse alone?
Do you know Primordial?
Yes, I know Primordial.
Oh, we both do.
How do
Ooh.
you know Primordial?
I get to pick a language that Pilot knows, and you approved primordial.
Okay.
It adds up.
Yeah, sure. You can. It's
So we could.
not.
So
It does
pilot,
not
we could
matter
both
in this
talk.
moment.
Yeah. Zhixil and I could
Don't.
gossip.
Yeah. Just join you on a couple rooftops.
Be like, hey, you heard of that Alfonz guy?
Pretty cool cat, right? You guys would say.
Yes, exactly. Kind of want to steal his hat.
Oh.
Oh
Is that a
no.
good O or a bad O?
I
it's not a good
just forgot how this worked.
You just killed us all, didn't you?
No.
Pilot is dead.
No,
The horse is dead.
that's not a D8.
Oh,
That's a
horse is
D8.
definitely dead.
What was your horse's name again?
The new horse's name is Ash.
Mm,
Mm,
about to be.
yes. Well, as this elemental engulfs you and Ash, you both take 17 damage. The horse is unconscious.
Shit.
What kind of damage is
Um,
that? I'm just curious.
That is 3d8.
No, kind.
Horse?
Oh, of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Bludgeoning. What's the hidden you?
Yes.
Itself.
Everything. Yeah.
Air.
Existing.
The wind is so hard, it's just
Mm-hmm.
smacking them.
I don't know how to fight this thing.
You cast a spell and you hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
think
welcome.
I'm probably like limited. I probably can't. I would imagine I can't use lightning or thunder on this thing.
Or fire.
I could imagine fire might, but it might
The air
cause like
would-
a fire.
Yeah, but the air
whirlwind or
would put it
something.
out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless magic doesn't work like that. I'm thinking logically, not magically, I guess. Again.
Well, I'm just
Or
thinking
it
of like
would feed
elementals.
fire.
Hmm.
Because like air elemental would be like lightning and
Yeah,
wind
that's stuff it could
damage,
summon. Mhm.
Pilot, you
Water.
were flung 20 feet this way, and you fall prone.
Your leg is broken.
Oh, geez. The horse is thrown.
dead.
Is also it's unconscious. It might be dead. If you don't save it, it's going to be dead. It's thrown straight right. Ilikhal, you have to make a dexterity saving throw, and so does your horse.
Oh my god.
But it's against an effect I can see, so I have
It
advantage.
is against an effect you can see.
Duck and a horse. Also, the horse is going to make death saving throws, and I love that idea.
The horse didn't. The horse did not succeed on its dexterity saving throw.
Yikes. That would be a 16.
You succeed.
nice.
Ilikhal,
Oh
you
my
are
God.
standing next to your horse,
Okay.
which has
How did that
been
happen?
knocked down. You're actually staying next to you jump off your horse.
You
as
ditched it.
The other horse,
You piece of shit. You
like,
ditched it.
you just as the other horse is flung into you.
Look,
Um,
that's the horse's problem. He is capable.
and that is the air elemental's turn.
Damn.
All right.
I think that's the first time the enemy has gone first.
Oh wait,
Right.
target takes half the bludgeon damage. Hold on. Oh no, you also take half of a d6 of damage.
Oh,
Me?
You take
there's more.
4 reduced to 2
Me?
damage. Yeah, you
Fuck
did
off,
get
why?
hit. You got hit by the horse.
I
You just
dodged
didn't get-
it.
You just didn't get knocked prone.
Oh,
No, that's
bullshit.
It's a
bullshit.
horse,
That's
come
bullshit.
on.
No,
Bullshit.
he
You just
dodged
told me
it.
I dodged it. I
Motherfuckers,
rolled a
it's
dex
the-
save to dodge it.
If the thrown target strikes an object such as a wall or floor, the target takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet it was thrown. If the target is thrown at another creature, that creature must succeed on a DC 13 dexterity saving throw or take the same damage and be knocked prone. On a successful saving throw, the target takes half the bludgeoning damage
That's
and isn't
so
flung away
stupid.
or knocked prone.
That's
You
pretty.
take
That's
2
so
damage
stupid. Okay, 2.
from a horse getting
That I
flung at you.
dodged.
You can't completely
Yes,
dodge
you
a horse.
can. Yes, you can. But I will take 2
You
damage.
take 2
And then I
bludgeoning
will
damage
because I'm so
from
mad at
Horse.
God.
Fuck you, God.
Now it's your turn.
I'm so mad at the forces of nature.
Just reading the paper here. Now it's your turn.
I'm just the prophet, not the god.
Just telling you what the freaking effect says.
So, can you make a Constitution saving throw?
For the elemental,
Yes.
No, for you, Noah.
No,
We're coming
Noah
for you.
For you.
I can.
They're gonna
But
fight right to you.
what is it for? Your rage?
My rage, yeah.
What's the effect?
Necrotic damage.
Mm. Does this
Okay.
have flesh to take necrotic?
Doesn't matter. As long as
D&D's
it's not
so
specifically
weird.
immune to it. I know.
But then I can't hold person on things. That's where I draw the line. You know, like
You can hold person to person.
I know,
Yeah.
but necrotic
That's
damage
not a
to a
person.
wind thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it's kind of
Necrotic just means death, or like that's like
Yeah.
like roddy, fleshy. No,
It's
yeah, it
18.
has some sort of essence. Yeah, no, that succeeds. Does it take
Okay.
half? No. But I gain. Where the fuck is a D12?
D12 is
Oh.
the friends we made along the way.
I gain 12 temporary hit points. No, I gain 18 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Is it plus your barbarian level?
And then hello, buddy. And then I will make 2
That's
attacks.
positive.
Yeah, I'll take 2 attacks with my greatsword.
Okay, roll it.
I'm going to lose my fucking mind. They don't hit.
I want waffle fries.
I want waffle fries.
What?
It's a TikTok.
Of course.
What are
Doesn't
you
know
doing in
Vines,
my
doesn't know
house?
TikToks. Falling behind.
Okay, you missed twice. You're swinging at air, so.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a little difficult. Goes to next in the initiative order is Pilot.
Get back up.
Yell at
Happy
it.
Walk 15 feet.
So 15. Okay. Yep.
And I slash it with No, I tell it to calm down in Primordial.
calm down, buddy.
Roll a persuasion check.
Maybe name drop too. We're here to
Yeah,
help.
come on, let's. That was my intention. I want
If
to.
that's what you want to use your action to.
That's a 21 for
Oh.
persuasion.
Come on.
Oh.
Come on, let's calm it down here. It's not inherently evil.
It's a nat 20 on its roll.
Oh.
Sorry.
It chose evil today.
So in its effort to not be persuaded, it was not. Sorry.
Is that how persuasion checks work?
With
like,
a
if I
hostile
try to-
creature
Okay, fair. Okay, fair.
it is openly hostile right now.
Yeah.
It has some sort of motivation, and you're gonna try and convince it otherwise.
No, that's fair.
I was gonna let it be contested.
Yeah, like if
instead
I
of just a set
persuaded an
DC.
NPC, I don't think they'd be rolling dice, but that's fair.
Yeah. Usually it's just how good you roll to persuade, but I think
Yeah. Yeah, no.
this
yeah.
is nat 20. To be fair, anything other than a nat 20 would have succeeded because it has a -2 to charisma, but
Oof.
sorry.
Does it respond at all, or does it just keep keeping on?
What do you say to convince? Not saying what you're gonna say has implications. The 21 is the effect, but how do you want to say? I guess want to say. I don't want you to think that like what you were saying is what's failing here. But, like,
I
what
say, like, please calm
vibes?
down. We're here to help.
So primordial, specifically Aran in this case, because it's an air elemental. It is this language of breath and wind. It sounds like wind passing through trees and the whistling of rocks in the mountains and the sound of the air in your ears as you run at a gallop on a horse. But you pick up out of the noise after you say this, all you hear is must protect, must keep safe.
Okay.
That's all. That is just kind of what you two actually hear and understand. To Alfonz and Ilikhal, it sounds like whoosh, wah, 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 whoosh. And then a faint hint of wind chimes in the background.
As it
It goes
snagged
to
the wind
next.
chime off the cabin in the woods.
In the initiative order is Zhixil.
Pilot.
Pilot. Sorry, no, Pilot failed their
right, no.
persuasion.
Yeah.
So it goes to Zhixil.
Was that an action though?
Yeah,
They were
if
just talking.
if they had succeeded on the persuasion check, something would have happened.
Okay.
So Zhixil,
Their attempt was to they made a roll was the way it worked out.
so Zhixil. Okay. Obviously, it's going to be really loud with the wind, right?
Yeah, it's fairly loud.
At what distance could I be safely where I could still communicate to it?
Probably where you weren't.
You have the feeling that it can hear you from anywhere, as like within
Okay.
speaking range, which is like 30 feet.
Okay. So let's move myself a bit to the left, so away from you. Yeah, to still be within that 30 feet range of being able to speak. And I'd like to yell at it. We we truly mean no harm. We are here. Okay, wait.
You can give me the gist of the idea,
Yeah,
and then it's going to depend on the roll.
yeah, I'd give the gist that we're here to find and protect the Summer Queen's daughter.
Okay, yeah, make a persuasion check.
Dirty
Oh,
20.
yeah.
Dirty 20. That's pretty good.
Dirty 20.
They rolled a 17 minus 2.
So he yells, "We're not here to
real-
fight. We're here to help find the daughter."
It like immediately stills the air around. So where everything was rushing and rushing and rushing and rushing, and it's swirling, everything immediately stills, except for where it is exactly. So right in between Pilot and Ilikhal is just this kind of floating, whirling dervish. It's a very large one, but it says, "Help, protect,
Yes.
how can trust."
As Zhixil yells out to Ilikhal, "Ilikhal, sheath your weapon."
Can I take the pin stealthily and just put it away? The winter pin.
That's okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Also, I
15.
sheath my greatsword, which may help.
Bonk. What was it?
15.
15? Okay. Alright.
Like, oh, shouldn't be wearing this here.
Obviously, Pilot was hearing this, right? So
Yeah.
It like says There is danger. We must help. We have been trying to protect. We have no way of helping. We are scared. We can trust. And you hear it's we can trust question mark?
Yes.
Are we still in initiative right now?
Ish. Alfonz, is there anything you would like to do?
I was gonna prepare my minute meteors, but I don't think that that'll just be kind of like a
Don't do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything I need to do.
I know it's can I begin walking towards the elemental?
Yes.
Okay. Non-aggressively. It just clearly we're
So you approach slowly. It allows.
okay.
And it settles
Guess I'll
and
approach too and just
Yep.
And as he's like he looks at Alfonz and just gives him a little nod, like he's like, right, it's okay.
it as it looks kind of like you can start to see like a little bit of a face develop, and in a moment it appears slightly feminine, and you can see kind of all of the like proportions of a woman kind of appear in this elemental, and it goes, we can trust for now. We'll let pass, but we'll protect. And it starts to dissipate
no.
and becomes
Damn it.
just like a breeze, and it actually just kind of passes away. Not like it just kind of dissolves, not like passes away. Like it just
Damn it. All right, well,
Can
just hoping to
I?
get some more answers out of that.
Actually, can someone do a medicine check on Ash?
Sure.
yeah.
Quickly go back and go do a medicine check.
I rolled a 16.
Yep.
What do you got, Saf?
Alfonz, I rolled a 11.
Okay.
The horse is
What?
unconscious, but the horse can be made well enough to where it like comes to. It does not die. It would have actually succeeded on all its saving throws as well. So it is conscious. You can get it up and into the city.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
will
ride
also
on it. I don't ride the horse. I
Yeah,
just kind of
that's
lead
fair.
it, please.
Yeah.
I
But
will
the
help
horse
up
is
my
the
horse.
horse is okay. Your horse is also okay after
Yeah,
taking
he
the
just got knocked
two
over.
damage. Yeah. He is very grumpy in this moment. While a trained Kingsguard horse, it's not a war horse. It wants treats. It knows that it did a good job.
If I have
Aw.
like any like dried something I think it might like, I'll give it to him.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what horses eat.
I give it
You-
a brown mushroom.
Okay. Just a regular mushroom.
Yes, a regular
Okay.
brown mushroom.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it doesn't hate it. It's a little like, yeah, okay. You all head into the city, and you notice for the rest of your walk into the center of the city, the wind is calm. There's still rain, there's still thunder and lightning, and that slight tremor in the ground still happens. But for this moment, the air is a little calm. You walk through a few blocks of city streets. These are a mixture of wood framed houses made from logs and timber and stone and brick. This is the most patchwork of cities that you've been in. There is thick mud in the streets, and the rain is falling around you all, and if Zhixil is keeping it off your heads, it's actually falling around all of you. But as you approach the center of the town, you do notice that the town appears to be laid out in somewhat of a circular or what's an oval? An oval is egg shaped, whatever that is. An ovular, I guess. Elliptical. There we go. An ellipses shape, and as you reach the center of the town, you notice there are a few like definitely prominent buildings. One of which is an inn, which appears to be named the Baker's Rest. And there is a Kingsguard post there, which is actually like a fairly formal building. It's at least 2 stories and looks like it might have maybe like even like a hall to it a little bit. But there's very little activity in the streets. Actually, as the wind has died down, there are a few people that you catch like scurrying between buildings, but for the most part, there aren't like people out and about. Where are we going?
I guess we can head towards the Kingsguard outpost.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach, it is double doored in the front, and as you open up the door, the rain falling around you all. In the main entrance of this, it appears to enter into like a large hall, like not like a feasting hall, but a main gathering room where tables have been pushed to the edges of the room and even turned on their sides to make more space. And there are people in cots and on bedrolls on the floor, and moving between them, talking to a group of Kingsguard, and with a bandage around his head, just like one strip with a small bloodied piece, bending over to help someone who is laying on the ground and offering them water, is Corin. And he looks up as the doors are kind of thrown open, like the clang, and he looks up and he looks pretty relieved. And as you look around the room, holding a pitcher of water behind him, ready to pour into another cup, is Avandra,
Oh,
who
look at that.
also catches you at the same time. The looks of the two are very polarizing each. One is like, oh good, you're here. And one is like, oh good, you're here.